not our project.
Okay. We'll call to order the June 26, 2025 Planning Board meeting. Welcome, everyone. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge that the land upon which we gather is unceded Mi'kmaq territory. Epequet, Prince Edward Island, Mi'kmaqi is covered by the historic treaties of peace and friendship. We pay our respects to the Indigenous Mi'kmaq people who have occupied this island for over 12,000 years, past, present, and future. All right, can I have an approval for the agenda, please? Motion to approve the agenda. Sean and Cameron, thank you. Anything anybody'd like to change? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great, that's carried. Can we have a motion to adopt the minutes of the May?
Disclosure.
Oh, excuse me. Anybody have a disclosure of conflict of interest? Anybody in conflict this week? Anything? None? Okay, hearing none. Can we have a motion now for the adoption of the May 20th, 2025 Planning Board meeting minutes? Louis and Cameron? Any errors or omissions anybody noticed? Any problem with the minutes? Okay, all in favor of passing those?
Aye.
Great. Okay, we've come to the part of our meeting where we have a presentations. We have one speaker this evening. So the planning board values your input. You're allowed 5 minutes to speak, and planning board will not engage or dialogue or debate during your time, but may ask questions afterwards. So we'll ask Charlie Hicken to please come to the microphone.
Good evening. My name is Charlie Hicken, and I'm a resident of Three Rivers. I come to here tonight to speak to you about bylaws and regulations. I was otherwise tied up on Monday, and I missed the Committee of Council meeting, but I listened to or watched the video, and I was concerned about some of the statements that were made at that meeting, specifically about 945 Route 17, PID number 252411. And it is presently listed as a hostel. Now this property was originally a community care facility, the French Creek Lodge, but it closed August 31st, 2015. There was a new owner in November 2015, and since then, I do not believe there has been any business there. I'm not sure on that. However, when it was a community care facility, it was listed as a non-conforming because that didn't fit in that zoning. In March the 23rd, 2023, these bylaws were passed that we're working under now, and the definition of non-conforming means an existing use or activity on the land and building or a structure that is not permitted use for that zone in which it is located as of the date of passing of this bylaw. Now, when this bylaw was passed, there was nothing happening at this facility. It was stated at the meeting on Monday that this was grandfathered. Now, my understanding is a grandfather clause expires when the intended use ceases, or the ownership changes, or there's a new use for this property. You can't take a property that is down as a community care facility, which is the intended use, and then change it to something else such as a hostel. If that was the case, these people could start up a gambling casino, they could start up an auto salvage yard, they could do whatever they wanted. But that ceased to exist. That non-conforming piece was terminated at the time that the community care facility closed. It also would have been terminated when the property changed ownership. And again, it would have been terminated when the use was changed to a hostel. Now, there was difference of opinions at the meeting Monday night. I would like this to go back to the planning people, take a second look at it, and if possible, give us an answer what their opinion is at the next planning board meeting. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. We will have an answer for your questions at the next planning board meeting after we've looked into it. But I just want to say that the facility has been used as a hostel since 2015 at different times. So I don't know all the current information, but it has, between 2015 and 2023, it was used as a hostel. So as I say, I don't know all the information, but we will have an answer for you at our next planning board meeting of what the planner's clarification is on this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Turn that mic on. Okay, so we're going to move into 6.1. This application is for a special development permit for a 264 square foot accessory structure to be located in the front yard. The proposed structure is located on 6 Old Forge Court, Lower Montague. The applicant believes it will look more aesthetically pleasing and practical to have the structure located in the front yard. The property is well screened with trees from St. Andrews Point Road. The key planning issues associated with this proposal are considered to be, is the development architecturally compatible with the adjacent properties, and does the development cause permanent injury to adjoining properties? The planning department believes this development will be architecturally compatible with the adjacent properties. Determining the front yard is a common issue in St. Andrews Point Road land along the Georgetown Harbor and Cardigan Bay. Request for front yard accessory building has been approved in Three Rivers before by council. The planning department believes the proposed location has minimal impact on adjoining properties. The proposal is recommended for approval subject to permit conditions which include a 12-month expiry. Proposed revisions must be submitted. And so, the planning board recommends to council, to mayor and council to approve the development permit application for a 12-foot by 22-foot accessory structure to be located in the front yard of 6 Old Forge Court, PID 608570, with the following conditions. 1, this permit is valid for 12 months from the date of issue. 2, any proposed changes or revisions must be submitted to the town for approval. 3, the following constitutes the approved plans. The development permit application received May 23rd, 2025. Elevation plan received May 23rd, 2025. And the site plan received May 23rd, 2025. Could I have a motion to put this on the floor, please? Cameron and Yvette. Thank you. Okay, any discussion, comments?
So this technically is on, because the Civic is Old Forge, this is technically on the side yard, but I guess because it's a corner lot.
I can speak to that, Chair. So this is a flankage yard. So front and flankage have to come to planning board and council. Yeah. And it's screened with trees. There's no views obstructed to the water for any development in that area.
Okay. Anybody, go ahead.
Just for informational purposes, we did a similar one when I was on council in Lower Montague, and the idea was putting a shed in your backyard effectively obscures your view of the water, and so we've tended to let these go, and I think it's a good idea. I'm familiar with this property. I have a couple of concerns for the bringer of the application. Not that it affect my vote here to approve it, but when we approved one of these very similar applications 10 years ago, there was a strong objection from some of the locals about any type of construction of sheds because there is a restrictive covenant on the lands that were originally granted back 40, 50, 60 years ago. Unfortunately, the restrictive covenant in itself is somewhat invalid in that it is not binding on heirs, executors, and assigns. And so they will, neighbors may raise some concerns, and it'll be about the way the snow is going to blow through there and whether it will affect things. But just for the purposes of our meeting, and for the applicant, they may get blowback on this.
Okay. Anybody else? So can we have a vote to move this forward to council? In favor? Okay. So we'll move that ahead. All right, 6.2. This application is for a special development permit for a 77 square foot accessory structure to be located in the front yard. The proposed structure is located on 46 Birch Lane, Georgetown, Royalty. The applicant believes it will look more aesthetically pleasing and practical to have the structure located in the front yard. The property is well screened with trees from North Royalty Road. The key planning issues associated with this proposal are considered to be, is the development architecturally compatible with adjacent properties? And does the development cause permanent injury to the adjoining properties? The planning department believes this development will be architecturally compatible with the adjacent properties. Determining the front yard is a common issue in Three Rivers due to large screened parcels in rural areas or waterfront property. Request for a front yard accessory building has been approved in Three Rivers before by council. The planning department believes the proposed location has minimal impact on the adjoining properties. Therefore, the planning board recommend to mayor and council to approve the development permit application for a 7-foot by 11-foot accessory structure to be located in the front yard of 46 Birch Lane, PID 857870, with the following conditions. 1, the permit is valid for 12 months from the date of issue. 2, any proposed changes or revisions must be submitted to the town for approval. 3, the following constitutes the approved plans. The development permit application received June 11th, 2025. Elevation plan received June 18th, 2025. And the site plan received June 11th, 2025. Could I have a motion to put this on the floor, please? John and Yvette, thank you. Okay, any discussion? Seems like a very small building.
Small shed.
Sean?
Just for planning purposes, they're saying it's in the front yard off North Royalty Road, but could it not also be seen as a flanking building off Birch Lane? Could be. Need approval either way.
Okay. Anybody, anything? Okay. All in favor of moving this forward to council? Great. We'll move it ahead and we will move on to 6.3. This application concerns the sighting of a recreational vehicle for 120 days on PID 908742, 62 Botten Lane, Bay Lane, sorry. The key planning issues associated with this proposal are considered to be the sewage disposal arrangements during the temporary siting of the recreational vehicle, impact upon adjoining properties, and removal of structure. The planning department believes the proposed location has minimal impact on the adjoining properties. The recreational vehicles in rural areas for limited time periods is supported within the official plan and the development bylaws. Therefore, the planning board recommend to mayor and council to approve the siting of a recreational vehicle for 120 days on PID 908749, 62 Botten Lane, Bay Lane. The permit is valid for 120 days from the date of issue, after which time the recreational vehicle must be removed from site. Sewage and gray water must be disposed of properly into an approved septic system or pumped from the holding tank and disposed of properly. The 3 plans condition the development application received June 13th, 2025, and the site plan received June 13th, 2025. I have a motion to put it on the floor, please. By Cameron, and second by Yvette. Any questions, comments? All in favor of moving it on to council?
Oops,
Oh, sorry, go
sorry.
ahead.
Just, are they storing the wastewater or do they have a septic tank?
I can speak to that, Chair. So for this one, they will be taking their sewage to a campground and dumping in their dumping stations at a campground. Yep.
Go ahead.
Just wondering, there seems to be a couple of reasons these applications are made. One is to put an RV on the property so that you can do construction over the summer. The other is purely recreational. Which one is this, do you know?
This is purely recreational, so they've been living over in Nova Scotia and they've been camping on this site.
Anything else? All in favor of moving this ahead to council? Great. All right, 6.4. This application concerns the siting of a recreational vehicle for 120 days on PID 682575 South Montague Road, Route 353. The key planning issues associated with this proposal are considered to be sewage disposal arrangements during the temporary siting of a recreational vehicle, impact upon the adjoining properties, removal of structures. The planning department believes the proposed location has minimal impact on adjoining properties. Recreational vehicles in rural areas for time limit period is supported within the official plan and development bylaws. Therefore, the planning board recommend to mayor and council to approve the siting of a recreational vehicle for 120 days on PID 682575 South Montague Road, Route 353. Condition 1, the permit is valid for 120 days from the date of issue, after which time the recreational vehicle must be removed from site. 2, sewage and gray water must be disposed of properly in an approved septic system or pumped from the holding tanks and disposed of properly. 3, the development application was received June 16th, 2025, and the site plan and photo received June 16th, 2025. A motion to put it on the floor? John, second by Louis. Thank you. Discussion. Go ahead, Sean.
Same question, recreation or purposes of building another structure?
Speak to that, Chair. So this will be recreation. They do plan on installing a septic system for this one, so there may be future development, but at this time it's just recreation.
I'm assuming the red outlines are a buffer zone, so are they sufficiently far enough away from the buffer zone for, okay.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor of moving this ahead to council? Okay, it's moved ahead, and a motion for adjournment. John and Louis, all right. Thank you very much, everyone.